Hey, what's up? Well, I'm here to make another video with a different pair of free pink sunglasses. Okay, and first of all, I want to start out by responding to a comment that I got on my last video. Someone said I can still see your eyes. Well, okay, first of all, I really can't help that. Okay, so what I did was, see, I really like the hot pink theme, for springtime. But I can't help the fact that some of these free sunglasses are really cheap made and thin. And some of them let in more light than others, okay? And the whole point of wearing these sunglasses is, well, number one, to protect my identity. Number two, so that you can't tell what my eyes are doing in these videos. I mean, I'm sure you know what color they are. They're obviously not blue. But, it's just so that I can feel a little bit safer and more confident when I make these videos. And if I were to start crying or something, which I rarely do, but if I were to start that in a video, I would have time to shut it off, before the tears would completely run down my face. And then cut that part out, okay? But anyway, we'll try not to get into anything that heavy. I get all these, I collect free sunglasses and cheap sunglasses, basically. I have a huge collection of sunglasses, and it gets really frustrating at times when I cannot find the sunglasses that I want because they're in so many different places. Some of them are in my car, some of them are in one room, some of them are in another room, and it's like I never can keep them straight. I should keep them all pretty much in the same location, but that wouldn't be very convenient. So anyway, enough about my sunglasses. And I mean, I'm sure it's not doing a good job of obscuring my identity or my eyes, but whatever. So what I like to talk about in this video, this should be a very exciting and interesting video, okay? And it's sort of it's an unboxing, and I'm pretty sure I won't have time for much else in this video. But what I like to unbox in this video, if I could ever get to it with all this stuff going on, I would like to, without revealing my address, unbox this package that I have waited so long for. And once again, it is in a pretty envelope. I don't know what it is, but they're getting creative with their envelopes, especially the people that sell the kinds of items that I'm interested in, okay? And without further ado, I don't know if I've bought from this person before, but if I have, oh well. This rainbow heart envelope contains a very special item that I hope will be the last of its kind ever. I hope I don't have any more packages coming in of a similar nature to this, because you can probably guess what it probably is by now. And if it wouldn't be so sticky, I could actually open it without cutting it up, which I have successfully done. And what we have here in this package is a very well-wrapped item, and it's somewhat of a surprise, and you will understand why it was very important for me to have this specific item and why I'm holding off on my laundry to see if maybe she might not need to be washed with something that I'm washing if she isn't clean enough. Okay, and this is probably what I should have bought years ago. When I bought this Archie, I'll take him out. When I bought Archie, I probably should have gotten this item and maybe the blonde version and nothing more. No other dolls as opposed to, you know, the playground kids, all those other cloth body dolls that I bought over the years. But I'm glad to have them, okay? Well, originally, if you had a set of 4 dolls like this, originally I thought this was the only Archie doll I would ever be able to get. I want to say, was it 21? Yeah. It's hard to keep the date straight anymore. We're living at the apartment in Texas, which we probably shouldn't have left. You know, I mean, our finances would probably be better had we just stayed a few more years in Texas. But this Archie doll was in a box that was badly damaged. And this, you know, this is the Veronica. And if you're wondering why I already have a Veronica doll. But if you're wondering why I'm partial to that one, you know, just look at my channel. Click on my name that I'm using, which is not my real name. Okay? And I just had to have this one in particular. Okay, well, there was another boy like him with black hair named Jughead. And I have another version of Jughead. Different kind of doll. And then there was a blonde doll that, I mean, if you had a complete set, I mean, it would be over $100. There was a blonde doll, and I thought it was Betty at first, you know, because this was the style. They're very similar to the Honey Hill dolls, you know, because they were manufactured just a few years later. They probably got the idea from those. But, you know, this was a very popular style of doll. And, you know, that was the style of the 70s, and that's what people don't understand, is that it wasn't so much the length of the hair in those days that made a doll masculine or feminine looking. It was the style of the clothing. You see, girls wore a lot of floral print dresses and blouses, and boys just had plain, simple blue jeans and solid color shirts. Okay, so this is Veronica. This is my namesake on this channel, so I couldn't pass her up, you know. She's a brunette girl named Veronica, which unfortunately is not my real name. And so there you have it. And I didn't, but what I found out about the blonde doll, which yes, it would be nice to have her, but I found out that she isn't Betty, the blonde doll in the blue dress. And for some reason, these dolls have black eyes like the cartoons. So I might be washing her to make her smell better. And, but the thing about the blonde doll is that she wasn't Betty. Okay, it wasn't Betty and Veronica, Archie and Jughead, which Reggie is, of course, missing from every set. But the blonde girl was Sabrina, the teen witch. And I had no idea that Sabrina, the teenage witch, originated from the Archie comic. I had no earthly idea that that was the origin of Sabrina. Okay, well, someone made me an offer for 3 of them, like about it's going to be $60, and they were going to offer me like 50 plus shipping. I said, that's too high. I can't do that. And plus Sabrina, you know, I already have, well, just one boy and one girl, but I would have Sabrina and not Jughead. And the thing about Sabrina is that there are so many different, much better Sabrina dolls that you can have. You know, I mean, obviously there was the 90s version, which I'd much rather have one like that. But there were other versions of her, you know, so many different versions with pretty blue eyes. And what I found was that while the cartoon character Sabrina in the Archie comic was given white hair like a cotton ball, you know, like Bam Bam and Judy Jetson, the doll was given regular blonde hair like Betty. Okay, they always did that with dolls. They didn't make them exactly like the cartoon character. They kind of normalized them in doll form in many cases because they thought they would sell better. So, they didn't think like an Ariel doll with fire engine red hair would sell, so they made it more of an auburn red, more of like a human hair red. Um, so what I've decided is, you see this little blonde doll that I didn't show? I got her and she didn't have a skirt, so I put one on her. And she was one of those official cheerleaders, Fishel. I just had to have the blonde. I have the red head or auburn head, and I'm calling her Florence. So rather than pay $50 to have yet another Archie when I already have one, and Sabrina, or their version of Sabrina, why don't I name this blonde doll Sabrina? Because in my mind, Sabrina should have pretty blue eyes, okay? And she has hair that's closer to white. So you see, she had a little mark on her head that put her at a discount. She didn't have a skirt. Okay, so I just put a skirt on her. And I decided that the mark is just a bruise that makes me feel sorry for her. Okay? And so I'm just going to call her Sabrina, rather than pay for an actual Sabrina doll. And that hopefully will fulfill my need for ever having a Sabrina the Teen Witch doll. And as for boys like them, well, this elf is the only boy, I guess this can be the boy among them. And then I have the reindeer. So they could almost go with my Christmas stuff. So I'm going to, let's see, I need to wash this one. And the next thing I want to do is unbox some other items that came in even longer ago from Temu. See, this one I gotta be more careful with it because it's a lot more items, and in this package I have two items of each kind. And I really shouldn't have, but what happened was a very sad thing happened. Remember a year ago when I was so proud of my moon lamp? And I had it for a year. Well, what I have found out about this stupid town and its weather is that we have, you see, it's identical to the one from a year ago. And it's got the base and everything. And it's got a remote control that this time can change the color. Well, what happened was I'm going to have to be more mindful to not ever leave it plugged in again. It's got like a USB connection. Well, what I learned my lesson the hard way, that we have such bad weather over here. I mean, not that anyone really has good weather. And let's see. I bought two little moon lamps. So there's basically another one like that. I shouldn't have bought so many. I really shouldn't have. But I figure I'll have backups. I was so upset. I wanted to kill somebody that day. I was so upset. So upset. And I felt like I didn't really get to enjoy it, because it stayed in my space room and I hardly ever go in there. So what I did was, if I could ever, see, this is really and truly, if I could have only bought this. See, the problem is, there's a minimum purchase requirement. You have to spend so much money. And that's sad. It's not fair that they force you to, like, if you don't spend 15 bucks, you see, here's my moon, here's the moon, okay? If you don't spend freaking 15 bucks, you cannot check out. Okay, that's just how they do it. And because so many of their items are cheap, it's easier said than done to have a cart of 15 items, $15 worth of items that you want. So, while personally I think I'd have been happier with just one of these or two of these, one for each bedroom, so that this year I might actually get to enjoy it, you know, before it stops working. This is a smaller version. Okay, so if you could see that, it's supposed to look like the moon, okay? And it's battery operated. So this is what I really wanted to begin with. This is what I really wanted. A battery operated moonlight, like a nightlight, and a bit smaller, okay? Really and truly, if only they had these at Walmart, you know, for the price on Temu, I could have bought just maybe one or two of these, and I'd have been happy with that, okay? But as I've stated before, those minimum purchase requirements for checkout, you know, it's too bad you can't just, you know, just pay a small shipping fee and buy less. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you pay $5 of shipping, but, you know, they shouldn't require you to spend so much money. I mean, that's not fair. That's not fair that you have to spend a certain amount or you cannot check out. I'm playing with the brightness. So, I have yet another lamp. And I don't know what I'm going to do with the one that's broken. But I'm thinking about bringing it to my mom's house. I'm thinking that maybe I could have one of them here and one of them at mom's or something like that. I don't know. But I think I'm going to much prefer the little battery operated one, I think, unless it just goes kaflunk or it stops working. So, very happy about having more moon lamps, but I'm not happy about having to buy so many of them to get that price. And so I'll go ahead and post this video.